But I have to say, Daniel Andrews does have another problem. Standing against him in his seat at Mulgrave is Ian Cook. I'm not saying Ian Cook's going to win the seat, but 3 years ago, his food company called iCook was destroyed. A health inspector from the Dandenong Council inspected that plant, routine check. She was spotted with tissues in her pocket, and in CCTV footage, you see her reaching down in the far corner of the factory with her back turned. And when she stands up, she announces she's found a slug in a food factory. And next to the slug on a freshly disinfected floor is a piece of soggy tissue. That's the picture on the right, taken by the iCook employee, but in the health inspector's picture, produced later in evidence, that's on the left, that tissue has disappeared. Now, in fact, another health official later warned the company was being set up. Now, the inspector denies it, lots of people deny it, and I should add that iCook's main competitor in that area is a government-funded supplier linked to the local council. Now, whatever, the health department rushed through a decision to shut down the iCook plant on the orders of Victoria's Chief Health Officer. Brett Sutton's also ordered all those virus lockdowns. But worse, Sutton then announced that iCook was the source of a serious listeria outbreak, which had killed an elderly woman. The company was ruined, 41 workers out of a job. But curious facts then turned up. The slug in the kitchen was not a local variety. Normally it moves at night. And iCook was also later cleared of dangerous listeria contamination levels, and that elderly woman had actually died of a heart condition, not listeria. And in fact, the council report kept secret from iCook makes it doubtful she even ate one of iCook's sandwiches. All very odd. And joining me is the boss of iCook, Ian Cook. Ian Cook, lovely to see you again. Why are you standing in this election?
Yeah, I'm standing in this election because having seen the corruption firsthand of this government, I got to a point where I needed to stop complaining about what I'd seen and what evidence we had. I felt I had to stand up and take direct action myself and hold Daniel Andrews to account for the way his government operates. I listened before to what your other guests talking about it, and that they try to, Stephen Conroy was trying to wash over the fact there wasn't. Anyone who has time to come and sit with me, we can show them clear, compelling evidence, which is backed up by retired Chief Commissioner Kel Blair, Rod Porter, retired Detective Inspector, Brady, retired Detective Sergeant, who've been working with us. So yes, the corruption is real, and I decided enough's enough. This election for me is not about, right or left. It's about right and wrong, and corruption is definitely wrong. And the people I'm meeting on the streets of Mulgrave agree with me.
Now, you're suing over the closure of your plant, and that's progressing through the courts. But why would you be blaming Daniel Andrews for this?
So Daniel Andrews was the health minister that set Community Chef up, which was our competitor. Anthony Albanese was the infrastructure minister at the time. They both put money in. The Labor councils that formed it in the first place, they also put some money in. They got exemptions from going to tender. They got exemptions from payroll tax. They had a free ride, and yet they lost money every year. Andrews knows. And let's put it this way. If Daniel Andrews had nothing to do with this, and if Daniel Andrews was an honourable man and took responsibility, as he says that he takes responsibility, he would have stepped in and fixed this. He would have stepped in and got rid of Sutton. He would have stepped in and helped our employees get going again straight away. But he didn't. He's doubled down, and the instructions to the lawyers are, from what my people tell me, is the whole game plan is either make it too emotional so Ian quits and goes away, or make it too expensive so that he goes broke. And I can assure you neither of those is going to happen. We've lasted 3 years. If it has to be another 3, so be it. In the meantime, the people of Victoria need Daniel Andrews to be removed. And I'm out on the streets of the district of Mulgrave, which is Noble Park, parts of Dandenong, Mulgrave itself, parts of Willers Hill, and a lot of Springvale. And I tell you, negative comments, and I've spoken to literally probably 1,000+ people on the streets. I would probably say that I've had 5 that think Andrews is doing a good job. Now, one thing we also know is Daniel Andrews can't set foot in the electorate, and he hasn't. He did one presser in front of the RSL the other day, and he did it on a Sunday at 8:30 in the morning. Now, I happened to be driving into my office at 8:30 that morning because we were campaigning, and there was no one on the streets. If he was on the streets of Mulgrave, people would just have a crack at him. Can I also, we know and we understand.
I admire your persistence in fighting for your rights here. There's something very funny about it. I don't know what the story is. I have no evidence that Daniel Andrews was in any way personally involved, but thank you very much for not taking this lying down. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.